It's the second last week of the season.
Wow, I actually didn't even take that in.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Blue Jays. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today is our second Sunday in review on Blue Jays Today, where we review everything about the Blue Jays in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this week was an interesting week because it didn't feel like we really deserved to be 4-2, but we're 4-2.
We're 4-2. That's what happened this week. You know, it started off and I just want to clarify as well, we're going Sunday to Sunday, so not Monday to Monday. So we're going to look at last Sunday's game as well. And we were actually facing the Boston Red Sox. Feels like literally 1,000 years ago since we faced the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
But we did. And on that Sunday, we beat them 10-8. We went on to win 2 more games against the Yankees before dropping one to them, finishing that series 2-1. Then we got absolutely, completely destroyed 18-1 against the Mets, but bounced back last night and took a game there, giving us a 4-2 record on the week. Yeah, man. I would say we were one of the things that we do here on the Sunday Weekend Review is we like to kind of look at the best overall J, and that's going to be our J of the week, and we post that on our Instagram. And we were struggling this week because there wasn't, we were looking at all the batters, and there wasn't a huge standout guy.
No batters, no pitchers. Starting pitchers were adequate at best and kind of bad, honestly. But there was one guy. And this guy has always showed up throughout the season, as well as other bullpen mates, and that's Rafael Dolis. Rafael Dolis had a great week. He had 3 outings, 3 innings pitched with 5 Ks and 3 saves, and no earned runs. So in those tight games when it really mattered, he really shut down the door. So shout out to Rafael Dolis. You are our J of the week.
You're the J of the week. I really like that guy, man.
Me too.
I've noticed a level of consistency. There was a lot of talk about Romano, a lot of talk about Giles, and those guys are great as well. But Dolis this whole year has been quietly showing that he's a guy that we can depend on. So super happy about that. You mentioned, just as you were talking there about our starting pitchers and kind of the poor performances that, they have, or at least the, average performances.
Yeah.
I definitely want to look at that. We did get uncharacteristically good outing yesterday from our man Robbie Ray.
Yeah, in the beginning of the week, he didn't have such a good outing at Boston. But literally yesterday, he pitched 5 innings, only letting up 4 hits and 1 earned run and 5 Ks. So he did his job, and he showed some signs. Now it's funny when we were Blue Jays, we're 5 innings,
yeah,
good work.
Exactly.
And I will be honest, we're going to dive into a little bit more detail on the bad people, but what I want to get to later in this podcast is that Charlie Montoya decisions of he's pulling guys after the 3rd time through the lineup.
Well, let's talk about that right now, because I think my opinion actually differs a little bit than yours on this. I know that you were saying before the podcast that you weren't super pleased with Charlie Montoya pulling guys when it's coming around that 3rd time through the lineup. Yeah. And I completely agree with you in a sense. They showed a graphic up there on one of the Blue Jays games, and it was looking at Toronto starting pitching. And it was the first time through the line, and this is kind of standard throughout the league. First time through the lineup, you're very good. Second time, you're kind of average. Third time, you're not as good.
Yes.
Our 3rd time through the lineup was our batting average for starting pitching was above 360.
Yeah. Now, I will say, Tanner Roark, for example, his 3rd time through the lineup doesn't change. It's the exact same. It's very similar to his first time, second time through the lineups. So here's my decision. I get it. You're looking at the overall team, but if you want to talk specifics, why does Rio get to stay in the 3rd time through lineup? Because he's actually good.
Yeah.
And then when they pull Roark after 4 innings, yes, he gave up 2 runs. Both of them were solo home runs. But he only had 68 pitches. So why are we pulling him if he, on paper, in his stats, if we're going by stats, why is he getting pulled?
Well, I'll be honest, man. Like, I remember watching that game, and I think both of us said, like, his command wasn't where it needs to be, and
and that's fair.
He only threw 38 strikes in his 68 pitches.
Yeah,
so he wasn't instilling me with a lot of confidence.
38 strikes, 30 balls. Yeah, it's not the best, but
he did walk 3 people. I think realistically, Tanner Roark this season, I understand that, what you're saying, like we want to get more innings out of our guys.
Yeah, that's what
we want to, we want to get that from them. I don't think that Tanner Roark has instilled enough confidence yet in Charlie Montoya to earn that third time through the lineup. I think that he needs to earn it. I think he had a decent outing, last game. But it's kind of the same thing that happened with Yamaguchi when he got blown up those first 2 times. He had to earn his way back, and now he's there. And I think that we can adequately say I can trust to throw Yamaguchi out there for 3-4 innings in a bullpen day. Yeah. Now, as opposed to at the beginning of the year, I was like, no, please do not do that. And I like because we did the same thing to Walker too. The previous day, he only pitched 4 innings as well. Granted, his pitches was at 88, and he was
a little bit higher.
Yeah, but he had 0 earned runs. He did walk 5 people, and his strikes were, definitely. He threw more balls than strikes, and this is kind of a problem for us. Like our command is just a little bit all over the place. So I definitely hear what you're saying, but I am happy that we got 5 innings out of Ray because I think Ray showed the other pitchers that if you're having a good outing and you have your command, then Charlie Montoya will let you stay in.
I just think he's got to, in my opinion, you just got to trust your pitchers. 68, I just think is just way. I can understand if he was at Walker, but 68, you got to give him at least one more inning. One more inning. I don't care how he's doing it. He's doing it. And if he starts blowing up in that 5th inning, now you can yank him. But that's just me. I would trust my pitchers. That's why you signed them. But let's move on to some other stories. So this week we had a lot of players coming on and off and on and off the rosters. We had Rowdy Tellez going off the roster with a 10-day IL.
That was really too bad, man. He was doing very well.
He was, and he injured his knee, and there's reports that he may be done for the season. He was cycling the other day, but looks like the reports may be not that optimistic. And it sucks to lose a bat like that because he was hitting really well.
He was hitting, yeah. He was definitely he got very hot during a period there. And it's too bad that we missed him, especially because, him and Hernandez are big, RBI guys for us. They are run-producing bats.
Yeah, and Tellez was hitting 291 before he got injured.
Yeah, and it was always, the question mark always for Tellez was contact, because he's always been a 230, 240 guy. So to see a guy with his power hitting at 291, he is really doing what he needs to do. So that's too bad. We did bring in someone else, though. Well, we got a couple guys, but I think the big name that we were talking about yesterday or the other day was our guy Bichette. Is back, and he had he was playing well yesterday, man. Like I liked it seemed like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, his swing looked great, even though he ripped that single through the hole.
Yeah.
He really ripped that single. That's what I love to see. That's classic Bichette swing.
Yeah, I will be honest. Like he he had a great game. He got a little bit overexcited. Like he got into a bases loaded situation, and you could tell. This is always kind of. It's not even a huge problem, but like Bichette, I would say the one aspect of his hitting game that I would like him to work on is waiting on pitches a bit more. He is sometimes over aggressive, and we did see that in that bases loaded situation. You could tell his eyes were on that giant grand slam prize, and inevitably he did. I'm not sure if he struck out or grounded.
I think lined out. It was a base loader, and then Shaw came up.
It was actually like a very easy pop, infield pop up. I think. But either way, guy. Yeah, exactly. But still great game for Bichette. I'm happy that he's healthy.
Yeah, me too. And like you were saying, with that overly aggressiveness, that reminded me of what if we were to combine the mind of Randall Grichuk in that 2 weeks when he was letting the ball travel and taking it the other way with the power of Bichette. Yeah. Because Bichette does he looks like at least he is a great swing, and he feels like he can get to any pitch and do whatever he wants with it. But also, if you let him just change his mindset a bit and let it travel.
Agreed. He does like to chase out of the zone a decent amount. About Randall Grichuk, man, he has had like a bit of a cold September. I remember we got off to a very nice start in August. I think he was hitting like 287 in August. But in September, he is down to 205 slash line for September. 205, 239, 250. So just not really what you want to see out of Randall Grichuk. This past week, he hit for a batting average of 240.
Yeah, man.
So
and rightfully so, he gets moved down the lineup. You put the hot batters where they should be. Sucks to see it. I love to see like another game of him and watch his at bats because like I've seen one or two I think this week of his at bats and he looked like he forgot what he did.
Exactly. Like he's kind of reverting back to his old ways, which is it's not great to see. Like and that's the thing too is like clearly he has the potential to be a staple in the lineup, like in the early lineup. He's just got to rediscover that and get out of his head a little bit, I think. Yeah. One stat that you made me think of, because you were like, Bichette chases. Did you know that Kevin Biggio is literally like leads the league in MLB for not chasing pitches?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
wow.
like above,
I believe it.
Yeah, like above Mike Trout, above Juan Soto. Like these are the other guys that are around that statistic. Like he literally is the best at not chasing pitches.
That's incredible. What I want else to look up is because I know you made that predict that Bo Bichette would be leading the league in walks.
Or Biggio.
Or Biggio, yes. And
he's got to be up there. Right?
I remember looking at it the other day, and he was actually very close. Like he was like a few people behind.
Really? Eh?
Yeah. So this is the entire MLB.
Yeah.
Biggio is tied for 8th right now with 29. The leader is Carlos Santana on the Indians with 39.
Ooh.
So I mean, he's 10 away.
Got some work to do, but
Not
he is taking pitches. He is taking pitches, and it's great to see, man.
He's amongst some company, that's for sure.
Exactly. He's amongst some company.
Goldschmidt. Yeah. Some other news on people that are coming back. Ken Giles made his return this week.
Yeah, he did.
Pitched a meaningless inning in that blow-up game against the Mets.
Literally.
Let up a run, that's fine. But he also got 2 strikeouts in that one inning outing, which was nice to see.
Yeah. Let's talk about... I'm sorry.
What did you think? Did you see him that day?
To be completely honest, I flipped off the Blue Jays and turned on the Toronto Raptors after our 10-run blow-up inning.
Fair enough.
The Raptors were in their Game 7 at that time. But like talking about the 10-run blow-up, it's not often in baseball that you have a week that goes by where you have a 10-run inning in your favor and then also a 10-run inning against you. And that's what happened to the Blue Jays this week. Yeah. On September 7th, we blew the Yankees wide open for 10 runs. Amazing. And then on September 11th, got blown open ourselves by the New York Mets.
Yeah. Ugly but beautiful. And shout out Danny Jansen for getting that home run. That was very, very nice.
Yeah.
But then I also saw a play, and this is very unlike Danny Jansen being nominated for a Gold Glove last year. But what started it all, what kind of got out of that inning was that bases loaded. It was hit to the shortstop, throw home. Right there on the money was the throw. Pops out of his glove, squirts behind him, run comes in score, and then it just snowballed from there, and it blew up. So, squeeze that ball, buddy. You got that. You got this. And speaking of catchers, we had a catcher come back. Or not come back. A new catcher joined the team.
New guy. Captain Kirk.
Yeah. Alejandro Kirk's joined the team, and honestly, I'm happy because I know he was a touted Scott. Like he was like 7-ish.
I believe the prospect ranker put him at 6th for us.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, like he's definitely he was right up in there in the conversation of like Elvis Martinez. Right there. Like definitely a good a good prospect for us, could become, a regular starting catcher. Apparently, he is supposed to be pretty good with the bat, which is definitely something that we need from our catchers right now.
Yeah. His minor league stats, he's played 151 games, and this was a slash line in 151 minor league games, so kind of pretend it's an MLB season.
Sure.
He hit 315 with an on-base 418 and an OPS, or a slugging of 500, hitting 17 home runs, 101 RBIs, 72 runs scored. And this is a number that jumps up to me. It's awesome. He only had 60 strikeouts in 151 games and 89 walks.
Yeah,
So
apparently
nice.
This guy can really take a pitch, which is good because, our other casters have a hard time doing that.
Now, granted, Jansen does work walks. He just cannot hit the ball.
Yeah, I mean, what is did you work out the average of our catchers?
Yes, I did. So
what is it? So this is Jansen and
Jansen,
McGuire, right?
McGuire, and Caleb Smith in his short outings with us. We had a combined catching average of 127.
Oh man! I know that we were talking about that yesterday on the broadcast, and they made it clear that is like very much the worst in the MLB.
Very much.
So yeah, we're just getting right now a dead spot in our catcher situation. I think that the management of the Blue Jays noticed. Well, I mean, it's hard not to notice.
Everyone noticed.
Yeah, everyone noticed, and they were like, screw it. Let's just get this guy out, because they were talking about Alejandro Kirk, and if this was a regular season, then he would be in like AA right now.
He would not be playing. Hey, I'm happy if we could get some sort of production out of that.
And he had a good game yesterday. He took a walk. He got a double. It's like that's great stuff for Alejandro Kirk. He did really well.
Yeah, you know what? And good for him. I can't wait to see what happens for this week and to see what he can do. And
what do we? Let's take a look at this upcoming week. Let's make a couple predicts and
let's see what we got.
I know that we have Ryu going today against the Mets. I think that we got to take this game. We got to win this series.
Yes, that's absolutely.
Especially considering the New York Yankees are starting to win some games.
Yes.
They had a nice week, even though we blew them wide open on September 7th. They've been winning pretty much ever since. So.
So we have an off day Monday, and then starting Tuesday is a 3-game series against the Yankees in their home ballpark. So that's going to be a series that we definitely have to try and win.
Yeah, they're also going to have their good guys. Like I know that Cole is going to be going during that time. Yeah. So we're not going to have Ryu going. So that's going to be a much more, because last time up against them, we had our nicer pitchers. Did we have Ryu? I think we had Ryu in the first game. Didn't we?
I believe so. Yeah,
I believe we had Ryu in the first game. So we had our top of the road, and then we would have, because then we had Walker the next game. And basically it's going to be flipped. They're going to have their good pitchers going, and we're going to have our middle to bottom of the rotation. So,
and then we have on Friday a doubleheader against the Phillies, and then on Saturday against the Phillies, and that will kind of cap our day of the week. But we also have a Philly, obviously, on Sunday, capping a 4-game series. So. 1 game against the Mets, 3 games against the Yankees, and 3 games against the Philadelphia Phillies. I think we're going to take a W tonight.
Yeah.
I think we're going to win, we're going to drop 2 against the Yankees, win 1.
I think the exact same thing.
I think with the Phillies, they're starting to get a little bit better. Ooh, this is tough.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was looking at this too, and I'm like, my heart wants me to project us to have an even record, but my brain is telling me that I think we could drop a game this week, and possibly go. What would that be? 3-4.
So I'm 1, 2, 3, 3 and 4. Yeah, I think I would go the exact same. Like we win today, lose 2 against the Yankees. I think we'll maybe drop 1 on the doubleheader, win 1, and then lose Saturday. Because I think Ryu should be going again, or vice versa. We just lose the doubleheader, then Ryu pitches Saturday.
I'd say like I think the safe projection right now is a 3-4. However, like so that means to me that if we can go through this week and go 4-3, then I'd be pretty happy about that, because this is going to be a tough week for us. Considering
second last week.
Yeah,
second.
Yeah.
It's the second last week of the season.
Wow, I actually didn't even take that in.
Oh my gosh. So hey, and if we can go 3-4 or even 4-3, it's like we're maintaining. If we don't end up in second, It should be okay. We should still grab that wild card spot, depending on how
we can't be having weeks where we go 2-5 or 1-6 or something.
No,
those will be killer.
Yeah.
So at least 3-4
important games,
and hopefully we get some performances from our bats coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe Bo Bichette coming back in the lineup kind of revitalizes things because people have been getting a little bit cold, a little bit sloppier. So I'd like to see, I want to see a good week from 1-2. I want to see a good week from 2 Blue Jays hitters. I don't want to be struggling next Sunday trying to figure out which is going to be the guy. I want to be like, hey, this guy popped off.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely. What do you guys think? What do you guys think the Jays are going to do this week? Who do you think is on the verge of getting hot? Let us know in the comments down below.
Make sure to check us out on Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. Also, please subscribe and check us out on our Instagram.
And thanks so much for watching.
And go Jays.